Okay. Sorry, I'm fighting with my remote control. My camcorder is ancient. It is just ancient. I don't want to use my cell phone to record because, as my son says, he says, nobody wants to see your face that close. I'm like, thanks. So I'm trying to use the camcorder and give y'all a break there. But I want to tell y'all the story of how I got healed when I was taking communion, because this is really cool. This was February 9th this year, 2024, and I had been so ill. I was just so sick. And this was the third day that I was so ill. It just was getting worse and worse. And it was one of those whole body sickness where, partly it acted like the flu, partly it acted like, I don't know what it was, but I was ill, bad. And I was in pain. And I had so much to do, and I didn't have time to be sick. Who does? I was visiting my friend Meredith. She is so sweet. She is. I wish y'all all could meet her. You would love her. She is so precious. And she said, why don't you take communion? And I thought, I hadn't taken communion in a real long time. And she said, a lot of people at my church, they get healed when they take communion. I said, oh, well, I was just desperate. I was desperate to feel better. And I was like, okay, I'll try it. And she went and got me communion elements. And she also shared with me some prayers that her church congregation prays when they take communion. Please don't write me and ask me to share those prayers with you. I can't. They're not mine to share. That kind of stuff is copyrighted, and you can't just do that without permission. I will share with you a prayer that I kind of wrote loosely based on that kind of thing. All they did was, it looks like they took the scriptures and said, okay, he said, by his stripes I'm healed. Thank you, Jesus, I'm healed by your stripes. And like that, and then they said that over their communion elements. So she brought me the elements, she brought me the prayers, and then she left, and I sat there and I said, okay, well, and I examined my heart really deeply because I hadn't done it in a long time for communion, and I was very careful about that. And then I began thanking God for, thanking Jesus for his sacrifice and everything, and because I always do that when I take communion. And then I said the prayers. They were pretty long prayers. They were like pretty long. And I said each one, and one was to say over the bread, one was to say over the blood. And in less than 5 minutes, I was not ill, y'all. It was gone completely. And it had been getting worse for 3 days, and it was gone. And I was as well as I am right now. And I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This is been available to me all this time. I was so well that I loaded up an entire week's worth of laundry, drove to the laundromat, and did my entire wash. Never felt one iota worse than right after I got healed. I was so just kind of blown away. And of course, I thanked God and praised him and praised him and praised him. And this is a lot of the reason I did the podcast that I did last night, the life-changing power of communion. In it, I talk about this, and I talk about the hindrances, and I talk about the atonement. If you have anything wrong with you, I strongly encourage you to do this. After that day, I told the Lord, I said, okay, it's on now, because now I know how to get healing. It's on. I said, I'm gonna make a list of everything I need to be healed of, starting with my spine, because I have a condition in my neck that was caused by, if somebody bats you around, for years, you have damage to your vertebrae. And then I have a lower spine condition and an old injury to my mid-spine. And I said, we're going to get rid of all that. That's me, the first thing. And I said, the second thing is going to be my eyes, because I've worn glasses since I was 7 years old. So I have to get glasses all the time. That's not cheap, and it's time-consuming. And my friend Joanne told me that, I said, because when I saw her again, I was like, I thought you wore glasses. She said, I did used to. She said, God healed her eyes. I said, how did you get healing for your eyes? Because I want healing. She said, I just decided that I was going to get healing for my eyes, and I started believing him for it. I started confessing it. And she said, then one day, I didn't need the glasses anymore. And I'm like, it's on. I'm doing that. So those are my next 2 miracles that I'm going to work on right there. And then I'm going to go down my list one thing by one, do one a week or something like that. However, as long as my faith is high, and I'm going to get healed of everything. Why wouldn't we do that if that power is right there? And it's for us. He gave us this. This is ours. He gave this to the children. We are his children. So you can be healed of anything. Doesn't matter what it is or how long you've had it. So I just wanted to tell y'all that. And that is mental, physical, or spiritual. Okay? So I wanted to share that miracle with y'all. I'm really, really excited about it. I hope y'all have a great week. Thanks for watching. My poor ancient camcorder, the remote's given out. I got to buy another.